Alright, welcome everybody to tonight's stream. This is Darhoth, of course. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Darhoth. As always, or not always, but we play in Hearthstone tonight. The plan is to probably play some ranked Druid, as well as play maybe some Arena. So, yeah. Just letting some folks know that the stream is up. It's cool that I got so many folks, so many people who watch actually are on my friends list now, so yeah. Anyway, so that's the plan for tonight. I have a new Druid deck that, well, it's not really a new Druid deck, it's the same deck that I've been playing, but I've made some pretty significant tweaks to it. So a couple things I want to talk about. I've taken, so this used to be a Druid ramp deck. Actually, let me check the volume real quick. Well, it's not really a new. All right. So this again, this is used to be a Druid ramp deck, and if you don't know what a ramp deck is, so basically it's using things to accelerate your mana pool and give you better tempo. So it had Wild Growth and Innervate. I still have the Innervates in here, but I've actually taken the Wild Growths out. I found that this deck, I was struggling to consistently do well against aggro decks. I could beat them, but it really was tenuous. So what I've done is I've taken out the 2 Wild Growths. I've also taken out 2 Argent Commanders. I still have some of the big late minions. I've also taken out 1 Force of Nature and 1 Savage Roar. And what I've replaced them with is a lot more early game. So I have Haunted Creeper, which is it's a new card. It's really good for early game board presence. I'm seeing it in a lot of decks. I also added in 2 Fairy Dragons. They give you good early game presence. And then I've also added 2 Power of the Wilds. I think this is an interesting card now, particularly with Haunted Creeper and Harvest Golems. So I get a 3/2 minion for 2 mana, which gives me good board presence regardless. But I'd say probably a third to a half of the time, I end up with having Haunted Creeper and Harvest Golems, and I end up having a board presence that's pretty good, and then when I do Power of the Wild, it actually gives me a pretty good board. So that's been pretty effective. I also I swapped out Black Knight, I took out Cairn Bloodhoof and put in Black Knight. I just found that occasionally I had big taunt minions to deal with. This is really for Druid mirror matches. But yeah, this deck is working pretty well. It does well against aggro decks, does decent against other Druids. I have a tough time with Priests, sometimes a tough time with Paladins, and Miracle Rogues. The Miracle Rogue decks are just stupid. I frankly think that Miracle Rogue needs to be nerfed. The Miracle Rogue deck, for those of you who don't know, it's basically you try to get a big combination of cards that you play at one time, and that's why it's called a miracle, because it's a miracle that you get exactly the right combination of cards that you're looking for. So that's kind of the idea of a Miracle Rogue deck. But I just don't like Miracle Rogue because there's really nothing you can do about it. You end up just sitting there, you think you have a good board, you think you're in good shape, and then they end up playing 15 cards in one turn. So anyway, we're going to get this started. I'm up to rank 8 now, so let's see how it goes. So this should be the second wing of Naxxramas coming out tomorrow. I'm not sure which quarter it is, but if it does come out tomorrow, my plan, which is Tuesday, my plan will be to stream once again. So if you catch this on YouTube, check me out on Tuesday night. Tomorrow I'll be streaming probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern.
Malfurion versus Malfurion.
So again, with the Druid mirror, this ends up, I end up trying to play more aggressive early than I probably would otherwise. This is a good starting hand. We'll keep all these. Hey Kaepernick, welcome to the stream. I think it's just me, you, and Moobot right now. Alright, so what's the turn? Turn 2 will be Fairy Dragon, unless he happens to play like a Knife Juggler, but you don't see that with Druids very often. Odds are it's probably a Druid ramp deck. It wouldn't surprise me to see Wild Growth here. Culling Wild Growth. Yep, there it is, Coin Wild Growth. So it's going to be a Druid ramp deck. That just encourages me to play even more aggressive early. So I need to try to get in 10, probably 12, 15 points of damage before he gets up to around 6 mana. Because at that point he'll start throwing taunt minions down, and I'll have a tough time doing more damage. That's interesting. So he had an option there. He could have hit the Fairy Dragon and taken 3 extra damage. If he has a swipe in hand, it's not a terrible play, because then he can kill the Fairy Dragon next turn with swipe. But I'm guessing he did not have swipe in hand, or he just decided it wasn't worth the 3 extra damage. That's cool, Kaepernick. I'll put it up on YouTube once it's ready. I guess the next Naxxramas wing is opening tomorrow. I haven't been following, but I assume it is. I think they said they were going to do one a week for a while. Now he'll take out this. So still a good trade. I mean, it's a 2-for-1. Plus we get 2 more points of damage on him. I'll probably go Haunted Creeper and Hero Power here. Yep. I could have played the Keeper of the Grove. I'd rather save the Keeper of the Grove. That silence is really helpful if we end up having a big taunt minion to deal with, or just to do 2 extra points of damage. Oh, in turn. So 5 mana, I expect to see a Druid of the Claw here. If he does Druid of the Claw, we'll probably Wrath and Fairy Dragon to take it out. And then Hero Power as well.
Where shall I strike?
Claw. Alright, so Innervate. We have some options, actually. That Innervate, we could Innervate up to the Ancient of War. But I actually prefer... I prefer to go ahead and clear here. And I could Innervate up, Keeper of the Grove. I'm not going to do that. I'm saving the Innervate primarily because I already have Force of Nature. And if I end up getting Savage Roar as well, I want to be able to pull that combo as early as possible. Would not surprise me to see a second Druid of the Claw here. 6 mana, could be probably a Karen Bloodhoof as well if he's playing the typical ramp deck. Wouldn't surprise me to see Keeper of the Grove as well. Oh, Ancient Watcher, alright. So this is a little different variation. For this deck, he'll want to use his Keeper of the Grove to silence the Ancient Watcher to let it attack. He probably also has Sun Fury Protectors or Defender of Argus to make the Ancient Watcher a taunt minion. So, fortunately, we don't really have good options here. Definitely don't want to silence. I could Innervate up to the Ancient of War. I actually think I'm going to do that. I'm wasting 1 mana, but that's okay. Because now, if he does end up Sun Fury Protector or Defender of Argus, I can take it out. Now, he may have Black Knight. You don't usually see Black Knight in the Druid ramp decks. Black Knight would allow him to destroy my taunt minion. If he has Black Knight, that's going to be pretty bad. So it's good now that I saved the silence, because we can silence out that Ancient of War. Alright, so we have the combo. So it's starting to look pretty decent here. Alright, I think the play, so this is 9 mana, so we got 2 turns for this. We're gonna silence off the taunt minion. And then we're gonna Power of Wild for the So now he's at 13 health. Unless he heals, which he may have a healing touch. That's not that typical for druids anymore. Unless he heals, on turn 9 he will die. Unless he gets big taunt minions out, which is possible. He may play another Ancient of War, Defender of Argus. So not having won the game yet, but in pretty good shape. I haven't seen any other druids really using that Panther, Power of the Wild. I really like it. I've been happy with it.
Shields up!
Alright, so there's the Sun Fury Protector, which was a little expected. So the main thing here is to keep getting rid of his taunt. Another Power of the Wild. Alright, so let's think through this. Alright, so if I Power of the Wild, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack, generate my 2 spiders, Power of the Wild, finish it off with this guy. He'll survive because I have 6 health. And then we'll take out his other taunter. Yeah. So now we Power of the Wild. Hey, Holy Snowball, welcome to the stream. So now this guy lives.
Nature's wrath.
Get 2 more points of damage in.
For the wild.
Power of the Wild is the best turn 2 in the game. I think, you know, I'm starting to get more sold on it. I tell you, what really sold me on Power of the Wild was the Haunted Creeper. Because it's such guaranteed board presence early. I actually think Haunted Creeper may need to get nerfed. I think it's too strong a card, frankly. For 2 mana, you get a 1/2, but people don't want to kill it because then your 1/2 becomes 2 1/1s and you get an extra point of damage on the board. And Haunted Creeper, I think, is just... I don't know how I would change it, but it feels a little overpowered, honestly. I think 3 mana doesn't help. Maybe you keep it at 2 mana, but you make it a 1/1 instead of a 1/2, so it's a little easier to remove. I think that would be good. If it was a 1/1 and it generated 2 more 1/1s, that would be a little more acceptable. So as long as he doesn't put a taunt minion out, that's good. Because this is a 14-point combo. GG.
For the wild. Well played.
So that worked pretty well. I would say my record against ramp druids is probably, I don't know, maybe about 500. One thing I wish they would change in Hearthstone, in Diablo you can put a status up here on the friends list. You can also send broadcast messages. I really wish you could do that in Hearthstone. Alright, so pretty good game. I'd say my win rate against other druids is maybe 50%. My win rate against warlocks is probably 60%. Against paladins, probably like 55%. Rogues, probably 55%. Mages, I do pretty well against. Other druids and priests. Priests, I'm probably less than 50% against. But even the best decks played really well, you're not going to have more than a 55-60% win rate just because of the RNG from cards most of the time.
The light shall bring victory.
I must protect the wild.
Alright, we'll keep Power of the Wild. I'm tempted to keep Chillwind Yeti, but I think I'm going to pass. If I had to innervate, I would definitely keep Chillwind Yeti. Now I'll probably draw an innervate that I said that. Nope. Alright, this will work. Haunted Creeper. Alright, so we're coining the Haunted Creeper on turn 1.
Greetings.
And then we have Power of the Wild
My greetings.
as a follow-up if we want it. Now the one thing that with this deck, with the Power of the Wild combo early, is I have had priests end up using Shadow Madness where they take control of a minion. And what they'll do is they'll take control of the Haunted Creeper, they'll run it into something, it will die, and then they get the benefit of the death rattle, which is mildly annoying. No, Fairy Dragon's a better card. So Nerubian Egg is really annoying. It's Death Rattle, it summons a 4/4 Nerubian. I haven't really seen Priest use it. My guess is he'll buff it up, so he'll probably make it, probably Divine Spirit, Inner Fire type combos. If you don't remove it, then when you do remove it, it becomes a 4/4. So hopefully, I'd really like to draw my, one of my Keeper of the Groves for my Silence. I've thought about adding in an Ironbeak Owl or two into this deck to have more Silence, but so far I've seemed to be okay without it. So we have options here. I could Power the Wild. Alright, I'm gonna just play the 3/2 here. So general rule of thumb, I only use the buff if I have at least 3 minions in the field. So we have good here. We have Swipe. I really would like to draw a Keeper of the Grove to deal with that egg. But at least I have Swipe now, so yeah, there's the Shadow Madness. He'll probably run it into my Fairy Dragon. It's a good play. So it would have been nice. I need to have 5 mana here. I don't really have a good play, unfortunately. This is kind of a wasted turn. I don't want to play the Thalnos yet. I'd rather combo later.
For the wild.
So unfortunately, that was a pretty rough turn. The eggs are a great defense from getting AoE'd. Yeah, I haven't, you know, I could consider playing the eggs for the same, you know, to combo with the Panther. But if I played the eggs, I would probably want to, get Defender of Argus and Sun Fury Protector, and I don't feel like going that. I don't think that's the best way to go with this deck. Let's see. You know, I could Thalnos Wrath. I think I will do that. Take out his Azure Drake. I like to save Thalnos for just that purpose. To combo with a spell to do a little bit more damage where necessary. So are the audio volumes okay, guys? I think those should be the same as the last streaming session.
Do you like to play with fire?
I really don't. Pyromancer's rough with priests. Now he ends up healing his Pyromancer. Yeah, it's smart. I mean, it's a good play. Wish I had one more mana. I would Azure Drake Wrath, but I don't. So instead, what do I want to do? I think I'm just gonna Azure Drake here. Oh, and I have an Innervate. Well, that was lucky. Because now I can Innervate into Wrath.
Job's done.
Using the Egg and Shaman. Yeah, I could see that. So the good thing is here I have 2 swipes. So whenever this egg does become a 4/4, I can deal with it pretty efficiently.
Tazdingo! Yes!
Let's see. So, what do I want to do here? So, I could swipe, which would kill that, kill the egg, and kill the golem. But then I'm going to have a 4/4 to deal with after that, and he'll trade. And I'll have no board presence after that. The other option is the Druid of the Claw. Azure Drake. And then he's going to trade here, but I'll have my 4/6 Taunter up. Yeah, I like that play better.
Where shall I strike?
For the wild.
Definitely some different options there.
Job's done.
This is why this egg is a good card, because it's forcing me to play around it. But I want to get good value for my swipe, so I'm fine keeping them. Now, I assume he will clear that dragon, and he may not. The problem with these Ancient Allures is he'll probably use Shadow Word Death on them, but I'll get my 2 cards out of it at least. That actually was not a terrible hand. So I could Hero Power, take the egg, and then swipe to clear the board. And then power the wild up as well. Yeah, I think that's the right play.
For the wilds.
Well played.
But I just don't have enough big damage to deal with healing decks. That's why I have a tough time with Priest sometimes. Could play Double Yeti. Which I like Double Yeti here because Priests have a hard time dealing with it. If I play a single Ancient of Lore, he'll probably Shadow Word Death it. So, let's go Double Yeti here. The real sweet spot with Priests is minions with 4 attack. Because their removal, they have a removal that removes minions with 3 attack or less, and they have a removal that removes minions with 5 attack or more. So 4 attack they can't touch. So he's going to Hero Power this guy off. Oh, interesting. I guess he's going to trade the 2-3. Doesn't make any difference. Oh, Karen. Alright, so it'd be really nice if I could pull a silence here. Ah, look at that. Keeper of the Grove. Could not have asked for anything better.
I must safeguard the land.
And then... Oh, this works out really well. So now...
For the
we can clear
wilds.
the board with a swipe.
Well played.
So not too bad.
My thanks.
That was the perfect card to draw. I mean, that was just very lucky. So now we'll Ancient of Lore next turn, draw 2 cards. At this point, we're basically trying to draw to the Savage Roar, Keeper of the Savage Roar, why can't I think of the other part of the Savage Roar combo? The Charged Treants, I can't think of what they're called. Anyway, lose my mind. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and draw cards here. Oh, Fairy Dragon is good. I'm gonna actually play the Harvest Golem in case he decides to Holy Nova here. Holy Nova would do 2 damage. This way the Harvest Golem will stick around.
Feel nature's wrath.
So we've got 4, 9, 11, 13. We have lethal damage next turn, but he'll clear something. Presumably. He's got to have a Shadow Word Death by now, I would think, to deal with that Ancient Lore. Oh, Holy Fire. Alright. So much removal. Alright.
I must safeguard the land.
Take this guy out.
For the wilds.
We'll go with the Fairy Dragon down. Stalled out a little bit, but hopefully... He still hasn't used Holy Nova, which would take 2 of the minions out. He still hasn't used his Shadow Word Deaths. So he's got some tricks left. I only have 9 cards, so I gotta get some damage. 2 of which are my 14-point combo. And I've got 2 card draw here, so... One thing this deck lacks a little bit is card draw. Oh wow, he really wants to draw a card. He's trying to draw for that Holy Nova, I think. Oh, Master Spell. Alright.
Well played.
Interesting. So that was interesting. So he Power Word Shield to draw a card and then Master Spell it away. 2, 4, 7, 11. Can put 12 points of damage down. Which I think is the right play.
Where shall I strike?
Heal.
We need to keep him within that under 14 range for the combo. And again, the reason I'm not playing these 5 attack minions is he'll kill them with Shadow Word Death. Ooh. He could have pulled my combo.
Nature will rise against you.
Oh, that sucks. I don't have my silence now. 4, 7, 9. I gotta do a big old trade here to deal with that guy. Let's draw some cards. Well, I hate to do it, but I'm gonna have to do a 4-for-1 here. Because I don't have anything else to deal with this guy.
Nature's wrath.
And I gotta keep the pressure on. Alright, so there's a one Shadow Word deck. He's still got one more. See what he's gonna put down. Well, so you got a Haunted Creeper for my deck as well. There's Force of Nature. That's the first part of the combo. Now we've seen Savage Roar.
For the wild.
So almost there. So Holy Snowball, what kind of deck? You said you're playing Shaman deck now? Uproot for the 10-5. Yeah, I could turn the Ancient of War into a 10-5. He's just gonna Shadow Word Death it though. Either way. But I don't think it matters one way or the other, honestly. I've just got to get my Savage Roar. And I've got 3 cards left. It's one of the 3, so. Alright, so. Well, that doesn't help. So basically, he's telegraphing by doing that. By. Let's see, 2, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing lethal by 1 point of damage. Oh, I have Force of Nature. Never mind, that's game. I don't need that big combo. But he was telegraphing that he has Holy Nova for next turn. Yeah, I was so focused on getting the Savage Roar, I didn't pay attention to the lethal right there. Yay, rank 7. Alright, so doing pretty good so far. We'll keep it up. So Holy Snowball, you're playing a Shaman deck. What are the rest of y'all playing right now in ranked? I saw Kaepernick, you're up to rank 5? I think I saw. Hey, Holy Snowball's rank 7, we should play.
The light
Another
shall
priest,
bring
wow.
victory.
Alright,
I must protect the wild.
so we have an Innervate here. We have Fairy Dragon. I'm gonna drop the Innervate. If I keep the Innervate, I'm really hoping to get a Harvest Golem or a Yeti, a Chillwind Yeti. I'm gonna pass the Innervate. I've actually thought about taking Innervates out of this deck. See, that was I thought about taking Innervates out, but I'm not sure what I replace them with, frankly. If I took the Innervates out, I probably would go Shattered Sun Cleric, Defender of Argus. Get rank 1 Holy Silver? Nice. Alright, so we got a pretty good start here. We'll Harvest Golem on turn 3. We may Hero Power if he drops a 1-attack minion. But priests don't usually do much this early unless they play a Northshire Cleric. Now, it would be bad is if he Shadow Madness here, because then he could kill my minion and he would get the Death Rattle from the Harvest Golem. Here, Shadow Madness 4 mana? Ah, crap. Well, unfortunately, that was the absolute perfect card for him to draw. For him to have.
For the wild.
So next turn, we'll either play Druid of the Claw or Azure Drake. Probably Azure Drake. Unless he puts a big minion down. I want to get a Taunter up close. Machinai Soul Priest. So I'm gonna play Druid of the Claw here.
Where shall I strike?
Job's done.
So I play the Drake, he can run into it and heal it to death. This way he's got to run into it, use his hero power and something else to kill it. With the 6 health. Because he'll get 2 from his hero power with the Machinai. Oh, looks like he's gonna try to go to the face. It's kind of a waste. I don't know about that play. I don't know about that play if I'm him. Yeah, he heals it to death, right? I really wish I had one more mana here. So I could swipe, but I don't want to use the swipe just for that.
I wonder.
I'm just gonna make the same play again.
Where shall I strike?
You know, 4 mana and a massive spell just to do some damage is not that good. So I would normally Ancient of War on turn 7, but against Priest or Shadow or Death, I probably will Azure Drake instead. I may swipe actually. Well, yeah, swipe would be really good here. Yep. Maximum value out of the swipe. Let's see. So that, was there a Drake again? We could innervate up to the Chillwind Yeti. That's not a bad play. Because at this point, I'm not going to have much other need for my innervates. So next turn, we have Lethal with Force of Nature. Hey Hyde, welcome to the stream. It has been a while. Thanks for watching. Trying to get back into streaming a bit. So we have 7, 11, we have 17, 18 points of damage. He's gonna have 19 health. So we're 1 point away from lethal. Right? Let me make sure I did the math here. 4, 7, 11, 17, hero powers 18. So I could do that and get him to 1. You know what? I'm gonna take the conservative route here. I'm just gonna keep applying pressure. I don't really like using Force of Nature unless I have lethal. That would have done 5. Yeah, I'm just short no matter which way I go. Why haven't I been streaming? Well, I was in Brazil for 5 weeks for the World Cup, which was awesome. Check out my YouTube channel if you like. I put some World Cup videos up there. So that's the thing, and I got a little burnout on Hearthstone. It was definitely not a girlfriend, that's for sure. I have been playing some other games. I play League of Legends, as you guys know. Let's see, what else? Yeah, but mostly the World Cup and just playing tennis in the summer. So, alright, we definitely have lethal here. I'm not even going to figure out how to do it. We'll just go this route. Alright, so that went pretty well. Yeah, the USA did pretty well in the World Cup. I went to the USA Ghana game. My seats were 4 rows off the field, which was awesome. And I went to the Brazil-Chile game, which is the loudest anything I've ever heard in my entire life. It was nuts. Loved it. Had a great time in Rio. It was awesome. I wasn't trying to bad manner there. I was just talking and playing cards. Yeah, Chile did deserve to win that game. I think Brazil got really lucky to win it. When the guy, I think it's Alexis Sanchez, it wasn't Sanchez, someone else, hit the post with like a minute to go in stoppage time.
Protect the
yeah, Chile played really well. Brazil was lucky to escape that. Let's see, we're playing against Warrior. I haven't really played against Warrior with this deck. I'm gonna keep the Keeper of the Grove just because it's so versatile. Well, the problem with Brazil is Scolari wasn't thinking anything. It's, you know, he didn't make any tactical adjustments to anything that was happening in the tournament at all. He just had this idea that they would somehow just get through on passion, and that was like what he believed. So, yeah, Frege was definitely not. He definitely didn't contribute. But who do you play instead of him? I mean, there's not really a good alternative. I actually think Hulk did better than people said, especially in the Chile game. He was the only one who was trying anything in the last 30 minutes. But Brazil just had no tactical cohesion. They had no idea of what they were trying to accomplish, and that's Scolari's fault. That's the coach's fault. That's not the player's fault. Let's see. Don't really have a good option here. I really wish I could keep her the Grove. So I could attack and then Wrath. He's probably gonna trade though here.
I wonder.
I'm just gonna hit him in the face.
For the wild.
Job done.
So the reason I did that is I'm thinking he's probably gonna want to make this trade. So why would I make the trade for him? Instead, I get 3 points of damage in. So that worked out. And then now, so let's see, what do we want to do? I think I will save the silence here. Question is, do I want to take the 4 points of damage? I think I'd rather Wrath. Alright. Yeah, Hulk, I don't know, they just... It was sad, the day that when Germany beat Brazil so badly, it was like a funeral in Rio. It was the quietest I had ever heard that city the whole time. Still not really good options here.
I must safeguard the land.
Well, you know, but David Luiz did have one of the best goals in the tournament, that's for sure.
Back to work.
He's getting really good value out of these acolytes, that's for sure. It's starting to piss me off. Alright, so what are our options here? We could swipe. We could swipe hero power, clear the board. I think that's the right play.
For the wild.
I haven't played a warrior since I tweaked the deck, so...
My blade be thirsty. For the war chief!
Alright, well... a few options here. Well, we have the 14-point combo, so that's good. So we could Ancient of War. The problem is he probably has an Execute by now. So I think I'd rather get some board presence down.
For the wild. For the wild.
So if he now decides to go to try to hit me, he's in danger. He may not realize it, but because I'll have 5, 9, I'll have lethal damage if he leaves me into the board. Problem is, I'm gonna have to deal with that frothing berserker.
To Northrend!
This is looking a little scary. So I can do, well, I can't yet. I could with Innervate. So I could do 14, I can do 18 points of damage. That's not enough.
What?
I think the play is to hero power. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do this. I don't really
For
want
the
to.
wild.
Play a Black Knight. Well, if he's got the Execute, then that's probably good. I mean, he probably does by now. Whirlwind Execute, probably. Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't a good option there.
Play.
Yeah, I could have Savage Roared. So the one concession I made when I changed this deck before, it had 2 Savage Roars and 2 why can't I remember the other part of the combo? Force of Nature. So it had 2 Force of Natures and 2 Savage Roars, but which mean I could use them for clearing the board if I needed to. When I changed the deck to be a little more aggressive early, I had to take one of each out. So now I'm really hesitant to use them except to end the game. If I had used them there, yeah, I would have cleared the board, but I don't have another source of late game damage that probably would have killed him. I think I would have still lost, it just would have taken later. That way, the way I just played it, I was basically hoping he'd have an Execute. But he did. Which, you know, it's the way it goes.
Malfurion versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine!
I must protect the wild.
Well, there's a Savage Roar Force of Nature combo, just don't need it on turn 1. And we're playing a Warlock, so we really need some early presence. There we go. Haunted Creeper will help. We can draw a Chillwind Yeti, that would be awesome. So this is the deck, the kind of deck I basically made this deck to try to deal with, honestly. This will be alright. Yeah, Hyde, this isn't a... I'll go back and show the cards after this game. This started as sort of the traditional Druid ramp deck, but I've turned it into more aggressive early. Because I was having a hard time dealing with decks like this one. Ooh, crafting golden Nax cards. I hadn't thought about that. I guess I could.
Do you need a blessing?
I'm so, like, tired of seeing the same Warlock deck for the last forever. Alright, so let's see.